guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Emily, and I thought in today's video we would talk about my experiences with leader dogs for the blind and guide dogs for the blind, just in general with their orientation and mobility programs for someone who might be considering doing either one of these programs. They are both amazing programs, and I feel like they're both great for people who are for all kinds of people, just depending on your goals. So I will start with GDB, Guide Dogs for the Blind, just because I have a shorter history with them. I've done their virtual Rough Life Academy workshop in 2020, and then right before that I put in my application in probably March of 2020 for their orientation and mobility immersion program. And they do this through partner organizations in different places in California. And so I put in my application in probably March. And they were going through some transitions, so I didn't know how long it would take. And this program, I got the phone call I got accepted in probably about 6 weeks after I got all the paperwork in. It might have been 4 weeks, something like that, once they reviewed all of my paperwork and things like that. And I got the phone call saying that I was accepted in the email. And then it was probably September, October. I got the phone call. It was probably October that there was a class date open in December. But unfortunately, because of my schooling, I couldn't come in December. But they had me for a tentative class date in February, as long as everything went well with COVID and things like that. And so I had that in my calendar because I finished school end of January, beginning of February. And so I went up there around February 11th is when I came back of this year. And this program is great for if you're wanting to work on your auditory travel skills, or if you're not sure if you want a guide dog. This is a great program where they can work with you on using a Juno horn, doing the Juno exercise, which is a harness. You use a guide dog harness, and they will have you hold on to one part, like the actual handle, and the instructor will hold on to another part of the harness, and you give them the directions, and they guide you around obstacles. And they will do this to help you do different travel skills, also with human guide, to be able to identify things such as alcoves and work on identifying traffic patterns and intersecting hallways and different things that you can use your ears to identify, because you're not always, or when you're working with a guide dog, you're not going to have that tactile travel that you're going to have with a cane. So it's cool to be able to get that experience to see if that's something you could handle. And they will also work with you on cane skills. Like while I was there was a roundabout not too far away, so I never knew how to use a roundabout with a cane. And so that was something we had covered, and we also did some street crossings with my cane just to go over how to do it. And we did some more complicated escalators just to show me how I would handle that in a multi-level building where there's like 3 or 4 buildings, or there might be 3 or 4 stories within a building, to figure out which escalator I would need to use in that type of situation. And so I would say it's something definitely that if you're considering a guide dog, leader dogs will work with you on that, but GDB does work more heavily on those auditory skills, and which is nice. And I loved my experience there. It's a great program. If you apply and get accepted, definitely go. And then I did Leader Dogs for the Blind. I have a long history with them. I went to their summer experience camp as a camper in 2018, as a counselor in 2019, and I was and they offered me a spot in one of their O&M weeks in 2019 as well. And so I did some training then. And then I realized I needed some brush up training. Like I said, around probably March of last year, April, whenever I was applying to GDB's program as well. And so I put in my application for leader just because I was familiar with how their program ran. They do have more on-staff O&Ms, which I like, and they do work on more skills, like more basic travel skills, and they can work up with you more advanced. So they do work more with the cane than auditory travel, but they will work with you on that as well. And at both schools you can work with a guide dog. But I put in my application for leader, and they called me to discuss it, and they said okay. They approved me in about 2 to 3 weeks and said, it is completely normal. You haven't been here in 3 or 4 years to need some brush up training, especially since you're getting closer to your goal of getting a guide. We can definitely put you on our schedule to see when we can get you in. We'll put you on the wait list. And so they called me up to be able to go at the end of January, and I took a week off of my massage therapy program because I was supposed to be done, but there was some COVID complications, so I had to go a few days between going to leader dogs and going to guide dogs for the blind. And so I love leader dogs. Everything is all inclusive on their campus. And so I love that. So this might be a better program for if you've never traveled before or something like that. But they will take care of you either way. But I love how LDB's program runs because it's all inclusive, all there, ready to go, in-house. They have everything right there. And they can work with you on more cane training, like more in depth of working with your cane skills. And they introduced me to bone conducting headphones, which has helped me immensely with travel. And so both programs are amazing depending on what you need. I learned a lot from both programs. So those are just my experiences. One's great if you want more auditory travel to see if you're ready for a dog, and one does more cane training as far as the cane training aspects. Even if you don't want a dog, just to brush up on your cane skills, or if a guide dog is your goal, they will have those discussions with you to see what you need to work on before doing that application. So they're both great programs, but I just thought this would be an interesting video because I know I would have enjoyed this type of video. So see y'all in the next one.
Speech on. Background stop button.